Hey, this is Mark from Pocket Gamer, and today we've picked the 10 best iPhone, iPad and iPod touch games that were released in January 2014. In this video we'll help a Yeti get home, solve a murder in a swamp, defend our castle from nuisance heroes and race a hedgehog against a monkey. If you agree or disagree with our picks, let us know in the comments below. Otherwise, let's go! First up is Castle Doombad from Adult Swim. Now, I don't know about you, but I've played way too many games about sneaking into an evil mastermind's lair and dodging traps on my way to the damsel in distress. Castle Doombad turns the tables, makes you the villain, and puts you in charge of those traps, which is certainly something new. The game is a side-scrolling tower defense game with a pinch of Plants vs Zombies, but with a multi-story castle to lace with weapons and traps. You've got a huge variety of traps at your disposal, as well as minions that roam the halls, and traps you activate manually like a satisfying spiky squishy thing that drops down from the ceiling. If you're not bored of tower defense yet, get this. Now, maybe it's time to hang up this silly assumption that twitchy, speedrun platformers just don't work on iOS. League of Evil works, Mikey Shorts works, and now Shadowblade works. This is a scrappy, brash and bloody platformer that moves at a lightning pace. You have to dart through levels, bouncing off walls, leaping over spikes and slicing up guards, all against the clock. And best of all, the virtual controls never let you down. It also works with those fancy iOS 7 controllers if you've got one. Detective games rarely make you feel like a real private investigator, whether it's Phoenix Wright or Cole Phelps in LA Noire. It often feels like you're just following the real detective around while they do all the hard work. But not in this charming iOS game, no. Detective Grimoire really forces you to follow the facts, and if you're not paying attention, the case will stall and this cartoony whodunit will go unsolved. For example, you're often tasked with rearranging Grimoire's scrambled thoughts, which means you're responsible for the sort of eureka moments that most video game crime fighters have on their own.
The tourist attraction to make any money.
The elements making up Chili Brain Teaser Lost Yeti are not particularly fresh. It's forged from match 3 puzzlers and block shifting bits in other games, and a hero who plods along all by himself, which we've seen in pretty much every iOS game recently. But when brought together, developer Neutronized Games has managed to come up with some unique contraptions for you to work through and some surprisingly tough and unforgiving puzzles. So don't let those cute, colourful pixel art visuals throw you. This game is hard. If there's one thing I see in my inbox more often than Clash of Clans clones and heartfelt letters from Nigerian princes, it's joyless free-to-play tank games desperately riding on the coattails of PC superhit World of Tanks. That's why I almost missed Battle Supremacy, a premium tank battler from the guys behind Sky Gamblers. It's tough, it's solidly made, and it plays great whether you're playing online or off. If you're a military fan who's sick of shelling out for shells, get this, your wallet will thank you. Okay, so I wouldn't use atomic fusion as a scientific textbook. This game posits that elements transform into one another by swapping an atom between yellow and blue, then guiding it through big pulsating rings of energy. I don't think Stephen Hawking would go for that. It does make, though, for a fun, fast-paced, easy-to-grasp arcade romp with style and flourish. And it does have nifty Game Center achievements that come with scientific facts, so it's not entirely without educational merit. Joe Danger Infinity is not much different from last year's Joe Danger game. You're still guiding Daredevil Joe through an obstacle course of jumps, fans and loop-the-loops. Now, however, Everything's micro-sized, there are new vehicles to try, and levels automatically queue up one after the other, like TV episodes on Netflix. It's still challenging, rewarding, playful, and works perfectly on touch, so if you like the first game and want more, get this. Simple as that, really.
Sonic and AllStars Racing Transformed.
In Sonic and AllStars Racing Transformed, everyone's favourite blue hedgehog is back for another race, and he's brought some famous pals with him. In our review, we said that this mascot mashup is a racer before a go-kart game, because it's got very sharp handling, no rubber banding, and no unbalanced items like the blue shell in Mario Kart. If you want to win in this game, you need to master your car, learn the tracks, and practice. But forget all that, this is a game that features Shenmue's Ryo Hazuki driving an Outrun arcade cabinet on wheels. I think we should just call it Game of the Year and be done with it.
3, 2, 1, go!
Rhythm Thief is a quaint little adventure about a boy who dances his way through a bonkers Parisian murder mystery. It's also a criminally underplayed 3DS game. This iOS port isn't the exact same thing, it's got some unwelcome social nonsense, some in-app purchases, and a nagging need for a constant internet connection, but the terrific rhythm minigames that define the 3DS version are still here, present, correct, and loads of fun. LYNE is a puzzle game that ever so slowly spirals out of control. It starts off simply enough, you trace your fingers to connect up identical shapes, triangles to triangles, squares to squares, etc. But soon the game introduces new ideas and wildly complicated puzzles that change everything. Luckily, LYNE doesn't toss you into the deep end so much as carefully lead you there from the shallow end, slowly ramping up the difficulty notch by notch until you find yourself solving absurdly complex riddles like it's nothing.